So, if you remember, those who were here last week, we had, I presented 3 little changes to your LinkedIn profile that will make a big difference. And that is a download that we have here in the resources. So be sure and grab that. All you have to do is just click on the link and put in your name. And that led us to listening to what everybody's been chatting about, talking to some of you. And that's where Janet came up with this amazing, you won't believe it, resource about 3 self-triage tips to stay sane and in control. So I'm going to turn it over to Janet now to go through that.
Okay, so I want to back up for just a second and tell you guys a little bit about this before we get into it, because Barbara and I know from working with coaching people one-on-one and even presenting and getting huge groups of people together, one of our #1 cardinal rules is never present too much information, never communicate too much information. But after looking at what was going on inside the group, we've had talks with people outside the group about just different things that are going on in your life, and minds are running all over the place due to some other circumstances that may be going on in your life. We decided to break every rule that we've ever created for ourselves. And for me, being the process, like, no, we have to follow a rule. And so this week, we're just like, we're tossing them out the window. They're gone. And if you, I believe, click in the link below, and there's, right, I think Mia's posting the click and the download in the link
Marvelous
below.
Mia.
Marvelous Mia.
I'm looking here. I'm not paying attention.
That's okay. So
here.
This is kind of what it looks like, right? There's multiple pages in here of stuff that we're going to go through. So you can download it. I'm going to get started on it, but go ahead and download it and you can follow along, because I think you're going to find, no matter where you are, sudden job loss. I just woke up and I don't think that my job is meaningful to me anymore. These things are going to really help you get your head straight. And this is why. I went through this. I went through this when I left corporate. I didn't know what to do. I was so like corporate speak running around my head. I went through the same thing when I went through some personal challenges last year, and I used the same methodology to get me clear-headed and back to being who I am. And so I'm passionate about it and I'm ready to share it with you. So we're going to start from the top. This is what we're going to cover. My 3 most important things. #1 is creating a daily routine. #2, separating from your former employer, nice and clean, and all the stuff and all the documentation that you have to get together. It's just a good list. Add to it. If you do add to it, let me know what you added so we can get it updated. And then 3, a journal process, because it is a fantastic way to bucket your thoughts and right, a place that you can also go back and look at how far you've come. I look at my journal a year ago and where I am today, and I'm like, who was that person? So
it's good to see the progress. So you're going to jump into each of those now, right? They're probably like feverishly at home, like taking notes.
I know. Don't take notes. Get the download. Okay, #1, create a new daily routine. This is what I like, a process. This is what I would say if you're going to create a new daily routine, which you need to do. If you are suddenly not employed, or you're waking up going, I don't like my job, you still have to go do that job. But what you do in your off time needs to change if you want to change. So what I did was, I kind of like to bucket my things in mind, body, and spirit. So mind, what are we thinking? Are our thoughts actually healthy? Are they helping us? Am I going to give myself time to research some options? What do I want? What don't I want? That's just as important as what you do want. What are the skills and passions I have? If you don't feel like you have to rush into something, at one point in time, I felt like I had to rush into something. So you know what I did, guys? I took a job at Apple, in Apple retail. It was one of the greatest things I ever did. It turned into this really fantastic experience. It gave me a place to put all my energy to learn something while I figured out what I was going to do next. And sometimes those things are just fine and okay. If you do feel like you need to go back to school or you want to change careers, The mind part of this is where you can start to actually put some data together, because I love data. So maybe you put together a cost benefit kind of analysis of pros and cons and how much is this going to cost and things like that. So the mind part of this is where you're actually doing some realistic research for yourself and learning how to have a good, healthy thought process. The body part of it is you have got to get outside and get some exercise. I know it's hot for us in Florida right now, so we are changing when we go and work out outside. But when the body sees nature every day, it typically calms you down. And it's like, okay, I'm not in fight or flight anymore. There's not a dinosaur chasing me or a lion. I'm out, I'm walking, I'm whatever it is that you're listening to, make sure it's good and positive. And if you need an accountability buddy, look in the over 50 sisterhood, find an accountability buddy to say, hey, look, my goal is to exercise 30 minutes a day, 3 days a week. Will you come along with me? Grab somebody and y'all do this together. You've got this. My third bucket for the daily routine is spirit, and that is meditation, which is scientifically proven to boost your immune system. It reduces your heart rate and it helps your digestion. It helps us feel better, even if you just do it for 5 minutes a day. It's not perfect. I actually meditate when I walk. Some people meditate when they lay in bed before they get up in the morning. Some people actually sit in a pose and meditate. It's whatever works for you. But the key is to just get still and get quiet. So what are you doing for your mind? What are you doing for your body? What are you doing for your spirit? Try to bucket your day around there, and you won't feel like you're totally out of control because you went from being scheduled, 18 hours a day to not being scheduled. So this is a good, healthy schedule to give yourself. Okay, there you go.
So that was number one, huh?
That was number
one.
So now that we have you calm and clear, we've maybe got you in a good daily routine, mind, body, spirit, allow yourself to do this. As women, we don't allow ourselves to do things like take care of ourselves because we're too busy taking care of other women, of other people in our lives. You need to take care of number one. It will put you in a healthier position to realistically separate without a bunch of emotion attached to it from your former employer if you did suffer a sudden job loss. And I put together a list of gathering all the important employment related documentation that you're going to need. And believe me, if everything was all in one place, it would make separation really easy, but it's never in one place. So things like your original employment agreement, if you don't have it and they have a copy of it, ask for a copy of it. Any other updates that were made to your employment agreement, your separation agreement, that's really important because it has some really important dates inside of it. A list of services that your employer may be providing to assist you in transition. So get all of this stuff in one place. Get your employee handbook. Your employee handbook has information in it that's not in your employment agreement. And it will also give you information that you'll need when we get to the important dates subject below. Also, coming from someone who was in sales in a very, very large corporation, we have these things called annual commission structure agreements, and they are weird and complicated. So if you were in sales or if you had some sort of financial incentive program that you were part of, make sure you get those agreements. They're not in your employment agreement. They're not in your employee handbook. They are in a totally separate agreement. So get that together and then get together any statements that you had. Did you have financial incentive statements that they've given you? Did you have commission statements they've given you? 401k matches, your health savings account. Get all that stuff in one place. Don't worry about what to do with it yet. Just get it together because you're going to feel like, okay, I've got my stuff together. I'm actually in control here. The next thing we need you to do is get a list of all of your important dates in one place. Just a list of dates. Because as you go through separation, you'll need to get back to those dates very, very quickly. And you don't want to be going back through employee handbooks or employee, agreements and all that stuff. Just get them listed in one place. Because a lot of those dates, like the date of your separation, the date your severance ends, the dates that your benefits end, the date that you need to make a decision on any investment accounts, like your 401k, like do you have a certain number of days before you have to roll it over? And guys, if you don't know what that means, tell me and we can do a deep dive topic on it one day, because I love finance. Do your own math on anything that has a dollar sign attached to it. Make sure that your records match. I've been through situations where my commission and my financial incentives numbers did not quite match what the company had. And so we had to get together and work that out. Vacation and sick payout is one, commissions and other financial incentives that you're owed is another one, and then 401k, including pending matches. And that takes you back to that employee handbook and some other things to figure out, did I work long enough in the year to actually qualify for my pending match? Those are all the things that you need to get together, because we are looking out for you, and you are number one right now. Number one. Next, we've got all the documents. We've got our important dates. We've got our math. We're good to go. We're feeling in control. The next thing that you can do is you can use that date list to actually prioritize the actions and the action items based on the date list that you made. If your 401k can sit there for 6 months, let it sit there for 6 months. If you need to make a health benefits decision in 30 days, that's the priority, right? You get it. So based on the dates, take a look, prioritize some action items. What I think is a really good, healthy thought process is to take each of those action items and dates and start brainstorming questions that you need to answer. Don't lament over it. Just write the question down. Do I need health insurance? What are my health insurance options? Things like that. One of the things that I think as women, we need to sometimes do is turn off the negative talk that goes in our head. I can't tell you how many times I've heard people go, I feel so dumb. I have no idea what's in my 401k. Well, that's fine. You should not feel dumb. What you could say to yourself is, wow, I have the chance now to find a professional financial services person who can educate me and make me feel like I'm in control. So that goes down on your needs list, not I feel so dumb because I don't even know how to invest. I don't even know what a 401k is. Don't worry about it. That's why there are financial services professionals out there who are there to help you and educate you. And now that's one of the things that you are looking for in that person. Write that down. Okay? Next. Research unemployment benefits options. I think there's a huge stigma attached to this, especially for women over 50. Guess what? Just do the research. Nobody said you had to make a decision or apply. We just need you to do the research. Just do it and see if it helps you. If you've got to close a gap somewhere, then I think it's gonna help you out. Again, nobody said you had to make a decision on it. Just research what the options are. Right now, we all know that unemployment is a little bit of a mess because of COVID, but hey, if it's an option, at least just research it for yourself. Last but not least, stay calm and take notes when talking to HR. They are just as stressed as you are. This is not the time to be an HR professional. I know Barbara and I both have worked in HR, and Barbara, you have a certification in HR. This is not fun, right? It's not fun for anyone.
It's tough, and all the details, and they're going through just as many challenges. They work with the employees and they respect them, and so it's equally as hard for them.
Yeah, definitely. I had a friend who worked in HR. This is probably maybe 10 years, and they brought her in and they said, oh, we want you to do all this stuff. And they brought her and she worked there for a while. They went through a round of layoffs. And after she was done letting the last person go, they let her go. So they brought her in just to do the layoffs. And it was sad and disheartening. And she switched careers after that. She's like, I'm just not going to do this anymore. So yeah, it's really hard for them. Okay, so we covered get a daily routine, get yourself centered and unemotional, and just get down to some facts. Figure out what you need in order to separate. The next thing is, and I think this is one of the most important pieces that helped me completely transform my life. And when I say transform my life, maybe at some point in time, we'll have a longer discussion about this. But finally, at age 56, I think I've actually got my stuff together, I created a journal system that worked for me. I've been journaling since I was probably in 3rd grade, but it was always like bits and pieces, and I wasn't sure. And they were in these books that were like perfect bound, and I couldn't like tag stuff and move stuff. So last year, I started a new system. Why journal? First of all of the thoughts that pop up in your head as you're going through your new like mind, body, spirit routine, how you feel when you're making decisions, when you're walking or you're meditating, and all of a sudden a thought pops in your head like, I forgot I used to love to do that. We're going to give you a place to put that in this journal. I promise you, it will be life-changing. I know that there are 2 people, I think both of them are on the call today or on this live, that both wrote me a note and said, oh my God, you have no idea how valuable this was for me. So again, one of the biggest challenges to journal writing is to create a system that actually works for you. It's not what has worked for somebody else and they just want to show you what their journal system is. It's actually what works for you. So this is what I did. You guys, I'm going to show you my binder. This is it. It's a 3-ring binder, and it's got tabs inside of it.
It's so pretty.
Well, yeah, you can see I have colored pencils too that my friend Jamie gave me. Or no, I didn't. I gave myself the pencils. She gave me a really cool pencil holder. So what I do is I have a tab. Literally, guys, look at this. It's like in a regular office. Can you see it? It's like a regular office tab. You can make tabs out of, I don't know, your Amazon boxes or whatever you want to do. Color them, glitter glue, whatever. The first tab is the daily tab. I actually call mine dailies, but I misspell it purposely because I can, because it's my journal. So dailies, right? This is where I write down all my daily thoughts. I date it. I put the day and the date. It's really important. Sometimes I don't write for a few days. Sometimes if I have a lot to process, I literally leave my journal on the counter. I leave it open with the pen right there, and I just write my stream of thought all day long. Tab 2. So there you go. Tab 1 is your dailies. Notebook paper in a 3-ring binder with tabs. That's all you need. Tab 2, stuff I need to ask God, the universe, my higher power, whatever. Literally, dear Mr. God, what I need to tell you and what I am asking for. That's what is on my tab. And I sit and I write the question. And maybe this is combined with your meditation practice a few minutes a day. I ask the question, I sink in, I get quiet and still, and guess what? The answers start coming. When the answers start coming, you need to start writing down. You would be amazed at what is unlocked in your brain when you just let yourself get quiet. Give this time in practice. It is not going to be like this overnight thing where you get answers. That's not what this is for. This is for you just calming down, having a place to put your big questions. Tab 3, gratefulness tab. If you write 2 to 3 minutes a day, which is like 4 to 5 lines, because you know me, I like a process. I actually timed myself doing this. I know, silliness. 2 to 3 minutes a day is all you need to write what you are grateful for. It is scientifically proven to boost your immune system, to reduce the feeling of pain in your body. Tab 4 is your dream big tab. On my dream big tab, I have weird house plans that I've drawn for myself. I've got, this is where I'm going to live and this is what I'm going to do. Sometimes I just write lists, but that's where I keep it. So we've got a place to put daily thoughts, stuff that you need to ask your higher power, the universe, God, things that you're grateful for, and things that you're going to dream big on. My journal has a lot more stuff than that, but if I were just starting to journal, this is where I would start. So we've got a daily routine, which should include journaling, by the way. Daily routine, get yourself centered to separate. It's okay. You've done a great job. We're going to look out for number 1. Third part, get your journal together. I am going to post you guys some pictures of my journal this week. And I hope that if you make a journal that you'll share what your system is too, so that we can get some more people writing. It's a fantastic way to process your thoughts and just make you feel like you're healthier and in control. And those are my 3 best tips that I can give you to get through this crazy world and crazy time. And I use all of those tips. Well, I use tip 1 and 3 every day, not so much number 2, because I went through that back in, I don't know, 10 years ago. But we're here to help and listen to your ideas.